Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood number SFB160 strike filler plate is what it is. Not a super common strike plate because it's a deadbolt strike filler, and let's take a closer look at it. Okay, so when you first of all, when you purchase one, you're buying a box of 25. That's just how these are sold. We can help you with single pieces of this material. It wouldn't be by Rockwood. If you need one, let us know. We'll help, obviously. But 25 would be how Rockwood is going to sell these. They package the fillers and the screws separately, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a preferred idea. Toss in the screws, and they're just going to scratch this. And not that, it's prime coated. It's going to be painted, but you still don't want it scratched. You don't want to scratch the prime coat off. You have to prime it again. So, what is the SFB160? This is a filler plate for a deadbolt strike. They say that this is for use with the Schlage B-lock and other deadlock strikes. It's used with any strike that's 2 3/4 tall, 1 1/8 wide, which is certainly most all commercial grade deadbolts, and that's what it is. Piece of steel, okay. It'll be 2 3/4 tall. Here's your 1 1/8 wide. The material thickness, 0.081. 0.081 is the thickness. Steel prime coat. It's going to include 832 by 1/2 inch undercut flathead. Flathead undercut. The undercut means that the flathead is undercut. It allows the head to get thinner so that the head can sit flush when you're dealing with thin material. And that's why you'll always see undercut screws on hinges, because the hinge is probably 134 thousandths thick. Well, a proper undercut on a number 12 machine screw would be thicker than 134 thousandths, so they undercut the head, is how that works. Let's take a look at the product brochure and then the Rockwood filler plates table links down below so we can get a better idea exactly what is all available from Rockwood. Now here's the page that we're looking in the site. So first of all, there's the product brochure that's here, and that's going to allow us to review all of the filler plates from Rockwood. And be mindful, they are all in the same pack quantity, 25. I would encourage them to sell them in more reasonable multiples, because not everyone is a hollow metal shop that needs this material, and I would think they could sell them as each and increase their margin handsomely. Anyway, moving forward. However, the point is that you'll have access to fillers that you very likely need, such as the 86 edge, the 8 inch by 1 1/4 edge prep. This is going to be a 4 1/2 inch hinge filler that's 1 5/8 wide. That might be very appropriate for a frame application. I would be looking at measuring your jamb to make sure that that's going to work. You don't want it to stick out very far. I at times like to use 1 1/2 on the frame. They can do a 4 1/2 and a 5 inch. There's your part numbers, by the way. Beveled door edge hinge filler plate. What they mean there is that beveled door edge. The door can be square edge. It can be. It's not going to be, because when they say beveled door edge and you notice the 1 1/2 width, what they're really referring to there is when you have a beveled edge door, okay, you're always going to see the edge of the door prepped like that. Okay, if that's the edge of the door, your door's not cut all the way through like it would be for a hinge. It's a beveled edge door, and they are handed, and they have a typical back set here, like you would have on a wood door. Okay, you're not going to see a beveled edge door and then cut all the way through like you will see on a square edge non-handed door, is what they're referring to there. And they'll do that on their 4.5 inch height. You've got your 2 1/4 by 1 1/8 161 edge fillers. You've got 2 3/4 T-strike fillers, 4 7/8 ASA fillers, the SFB160 we're talking about now, then 1 3/4 hinge fillers that would be appropriate for your square edge door that's cut all the way through, that you would have your typical reversing plate on, which would be a piece of equipment like this. This shim plate, this handing plate here is what it would be referred to. That's what gives you the ability to hand a 1 3/4 thick non-handed square edge door, and obviously that 1 3/4 thick hinge filler is meant to fill in that space, so that's what that's for. 5-inch beveled edge filler, that'd be very common. You'd have like a 3'6" or a 3/8 or a 4.0 door. 5-inch non-handed. Flush bolt plate fillers, that would be 6 3/4 by 1. So if you have a flush bolt prep and a metal door, this would be your flush bolt strike. That's going to be 2 1/4 by 15/16. That would go up in the header naturally. And then your 2 1/8 inch hole filler, that's here. You have an 1.5 inch hole filler as well. I generally find if you're going to use this with a exit device, you sometimes need to clip part of that off to get the exit device to fit over it. But this would be a typical 161 hole filler prep. Then you may have noticed earlier that we have our Rockwood filler plates table here, and that allows you to link to all of these items, and then some other plates that are other options that are here as well. A 86 to 161 conversion plate, and then shims. Did you know that if you're shimming a fire rated door, you cannot use anything other than steel? And if you're going to use cardboard, use your competitor's business card, I suppose. That's a joke. Use only steel on shimming fire rated doors. So back to the screen and let's wrap up this video. Okay, so finishing up this video on our filler plates. Again, multiples of 25 from Rockwood. If you need less, reach out to us. We can convert you to something that'll get your job done. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Rockwood, this is their part number SFB160, package of 25 deadbolt strike fillers, 2 3/4 by 1 1/8, or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.